The doctor said I would never walk again. So about 5 years ago, I decided I wanted to run a 52-mile ultra marathon. I just thought, my friend runs a charity and they do a run every year. And I had never run before in my life. I mean, literally, I ran in high school when they made you run a mile, you know. That was it, though. I never ran beyond that. And I ended up, my friend does this charity thing, and I'm not a runner, but he wanted me to support, so I was going to walk a 3K, and then my other friends started teasing me, going, oh, yeah, you and the other grandmas out there are going to be walking a 3K. That should be fun. And I thought, man, I can't walk a 3K. Maybe I'll run like a half marathon. That would be a stretch. And anyway, long story short, it led to I did this ultra marathon. So, I basically shared my first rock bottom, which was the car accident. And my second rock bottom was actually surprisingly a lot worse than the car accident for me. And it was in 2008-9 when the U.S. economy crashed, and I lost, like so many Americans, I lost over half my income. I couldn't pay my bills. I lost my house. In 6 months, I was $52,000 in credit card debt because I couldn't pay the bills. I was surviving on credit cards. I canceled a gym membership. I didn't exercise for even a minute in 6 months. I was in the worst shape of my life, literally, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. This is where the Miracle Morning was born. It was never going to be a book. It was something I created to try to turn things around for me. And it was based on a quote that I heard from Jim Rohn. He said, your level of success will never exceed your level of personal development, because success is something you attract by the person you become. And I realized in that moment, I'm not dedicating time to my personal development every day. I'm just trying to survive. And therefore, I'm not becoming the person that I need to be to attract or create or sustain the levels of success that I really want. And that's where I decided I've got to create the most extraordinary personal development routine known to man, or at least known to me. And I'm going to do it every day in the morning. Even though I wasn't a morning person, I knew that to take my life to the next level, I had to take myself to the next level. I woke up the next morning, and that was the, kind of the first day of the rest of my life, as they say, within 2 months of doing what is now known as the Miracle Morning, but it didn't have a name. It was just my personal development in the morning. But within less than 2 months, Tony, I almost tripled my income. I went from $4,000 a month, which was not enough to pay my bills, to almost $12,000 a month in 2 months. I didn't change jobs. I didn't get a promotion. I simply got the clarity, the motivation, the confidence that I needed through my morning ritual to scale my business. I went from being in the worst shape of my life to, that was when I decided, you know what, I'm going to do a 52-mile ultra marathon. And 5 months later, I had run 500 miles to train for it, and I finished it. And then last but not least, my emotional state. I had been depressed for those 6 months. I'm talking suicidal depressed. I couldn't figure out how to turn my life around, and my depression was gone the first Miracle Morning that I had. That by the end of it, I was like, wow, I feel completely hopeful and optimistic and confident. And if I do this every day, this is the one thing that'll change everything. Now, I wanted to share that backstory because, to answer your question, where am I at now? Someone recently asked me a question I'd never been asked. He said, Hal, you created the Miracle Morning because you were at a rock bottom and you needed to turn around, and it did that for you. He said, you're not at rock bottom anymore. You're at the pinnacle of your success right now. He said, why do you still do it? Because I still do the Miracle Morning 7 days a week. He said, why do you still do it? What are you getting out of it now that because you didn't create it to go from great to, from good to great or great to amazing. You created it to go from rock bottom to above water. So it was an interesting question. And here's what I realized. I said, I thought about it. Why am I still doing the Miracle Morning? What does it do for me? And I said, it didn't take me too long because I realized it allows me to take myself to the next level so I can take my life to the next level, and literally every single area. And that's the one thing that no one will ever achieve is their full potential, right? So the Miracle Morning is universally applicable. And I know multiple millionaires that do the Miracle Morning every day, and they say it's doubled their productivity. Their body has transformed before their eyes. And literally Pat Flynn, MJ DeMarco, these are best-selling authors and podcast hosts and people that do the Miracle Morning every day.